we all like home videos. I have a home video. It goes something like this. Jump in, swim, it's not deep. You can swim in it. Now there I was, 4 years old, sitting in my Minnie Mouse swimsuit, my bowl-shaped haircut, in a Vegas pool. My dad and mom were in the water with my brothers. They each have one of my brothers. And I'm sitting there with my feet dangling in the water, and I'm thinking to myself, he knows I can't swim, right? So he's like, jump in. You can swim, it's not deep. I trust my dad. I jumped in. There I was drowning. I was drowning, drinking so much chlorine water, and my dad did not notice. He had his back turned. So a stranger took me out of the water. But this is a video he shows to everyone. People come from visiting, friends, everyone. And every single time I'm thinking, gosh, just speed it up. I don't want to watch this. It's so embarrassing. Which brings me to my quote by Queensberry, the future is like the present, only longer. And I agree, thinking in retrospect, I want to speed up the video, but it is pretty funny. And the present is what you make of it. You learn from the present. And there's no point in worrying about the future because it is longer. So I think in the present you learn about people, you learn about things, how the world works, how things work, and you learn a lot about yourself. So why worry about the future? You have so much time to learn. And it brings me to the next example, my dad. So embarrassing. We go to restaurants a lot, and he's always, you gotta wait for your reserved table sometimes, and he's always going to the front asking the receptionist or the people who are taking us into the table how long it's gonna be. Every 5 minutes he's going back up there. And it's embarrassing. You just want to speed up the time because I don't want to sit there and watch my dad embarrass our whole family. So, but then I learned about my dad because he comes from Vietnam. He's a refugee and he's an immigrant, and everything's a fight for him. He has to fight for his rights, and when he was here, he had to fight for a job and everything. So it reflects his character. Even though it's embarrassing, you learn, or I learned from my dad. Also, when I was a senior in high school, a month after getting my driver's license, a foggy morning, I was driving my older brother's brand new Toyota Celica 2001 silver, beautiful car, best car on campus, and made a left turn onto the main street, and hear brakes screeching behind me. I'm thinking, what is that? Bam! Car exit. I made another rear in my rear, big hole. And my parents wouldn't take me to school. They made me drive the car with the whole school. And it was embarrassing, but I learned from my mistakes. You gotta be careful when you drive, the responsibility. And I wanted to speed up time so that other kids don't have to see me driving that car to campus, but you can't speed it up. You learn from your mistakes. I can't wear dresses or shorts without feeling self-conscious because I have a scar that's this big on my right leg from a motorbike accident. I climbed on a motorbike when I was in 6th grade. It was on, and I turned the handle without knowing, and it crashed into some bricks. And I was in the ER, got a lot of stitches, saw my bones, it's really white. But I learned how a motorcycle works from that. Don't pull the pedal. So you learn how things work, about your parents, and I learned about myself in the present. I graduated from UCLA. We have this tradition every quarter where everyone, right during finals week, you go out into the main area in your undies. Everybody's in their undies, maybe less. It's really embarrassing, but it's an undie run, and at midnight everyone's chanting, undie run, undie run. At midnight you run through the school just to relieve your stress. And even though it's embarrassing and I want to speed up time so people don't see me in my undies, but I learned a lot about school spirit, about being comfortable in your own skin, and about my friends, about being together when you're young. So I agree with Queensberry. The future is like the present, only longer. Don't worry about the future. Make most of your present. You learn about people, about how things work, about yourself. And you guys go see undie running skills.
All right, nice attention device. I like the transition to the topic. You do a good job finding something to talk about on the topic and make it fit. I appreciated that. I think you could use a little bit more preview for the content there. You've got good examples that you're talking about. It allows you to develop the speech and have some fun talking to the audience. Your voice projects okay. I think you could sometimes use a little bit more energy and variety. The pacing might be what seems to be a little bit off there. Gestures are a little limited. Sometimes it just looks like you're kind of holding the quotes there close in front of your hands, but then you do loosen up a here and there. Your facial expressions, I thought, were a little passive at the beginning of the speech, but you got much better as you went along, and your eye contact was always solid. You're always looking at us. That's good. You stand very confidently, sometimes maybe a little bit. We talked about this, too much movement, too little movement. I think you look confident while you're standing there, but for emphasis, an occasional movement might not be a bad idea. You use your time very effectively. I didn't see any obvious signs of anxiety, and like I said, the speech developed pretty well. All right, thank you.